Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News, with a Bachelor Clayton Echard update on the paternity scandal that just won't go away. There's a new media campaign by his accuser, Laura Owens, formerly a podcaster. It's been a while. I don't know if she still considers herself one. Professional, that's up to, I guess the IRS to determine. And her attorney, the honorable dignitary David Gingras. Their new media campaign, I guess he's maybe moonlighting as a PR person, is to, I guess, share her side of the story. We don't really have any information yet. That'll be coming out in the editing room. I'm sure she's going to cut up that video like Edward Scissorhands. He's but either way, I'm here to cover it because I'm fair. I'm balanced. I'm unbothered and unbiased. And I want to hear what she has to say. Now, some people have said, Dave, don't give them the attention. Look, do whatever the hell they want. She can become some giant grand YouTuber. She can do, it's not going to change the facts of the case. Now, luckily, after 12 days of traveling, I've been on 8 flights in the last month. After all of that, I am here live in the studios of the Power Recapper. And we're going to get into it right now. I have to just say, though, guys, you're so funny. I'm dead, D-E-D, at some of the memes coming out. So this is I guess the blog from the David Gingras law office, but somebody had replaced his diplomas with photos of me right back there. Stop it. Justice for Clayton. If you don't follow them on Instagram, the memes, I mean, this is what humor is used for, to try to, it's used in some parts to unite all of us. Oh, women be crazy. Women can't drive. Men never pay attention. Blah, 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 whatever the jokes are. And then it's also used as mockery. And it's a tool to mock people when they've done something wrong. And we'll get into some more of that. But here it is again, another meme. Come on, David, let's go do our podcast. I'm super busy right now. And then he's got a Dave Neal mug, which I do not have on sale. We do have mugs for sale, but not that one. So either way, I'm going to share for you guys this video that they released. Now, all joking aside, it's dangerous in the stance that they come off looking fine. Some people said, oh, it's the cringiest thing in the world. I don't know if I would say that. It comes off very interesting, though. I'm going to play it for you. What's more concerning to me is that I don't let the truth fall into the cracks. So I'll continue to share all of the instances of things that they will not account for. The faking of the medical documents, the Fiverr logo, the ultrasounds, and things like that. So he says more bad ideas happening now. I guess the first bad idea was when he took her on as a client, but I don't think he'll ever admit to that. But by the way, let me tell you something. If you're this guy right here running the camera, get out of the room. You know what? You know what I mean? Keep the cameras rolling just for your own protection. We don't need, you caught up in all of the shenanigans here. So I'm going to share what he had to say. We'll get to that in a second. But first, he posted this tweet. Hey, folks, to anyone who wants to criticize my YouTube content skills, let's make a deal. You write and argue Clayton's side in the Court of Appeals, and then I'll critique your legal performance. Deal? Seems fair to me. By the way, I think this is another example of our audience being so kind. No one's really, people have been kind to him. And that's fair. I think kindness is where we need to lead. Be kind. People have been kind. They've said, oh, you kind of like he's received way more encouragement from that last YouTube video than anything. I thought he did a perfectly fair job, Sure, he's wearing his headset like he's going to take my order at an In-N-Out. But maybe he will if he gets sued because he doesn't have malpractice insurance from his client, Laura Owens, after exposing the fact that she stole one of these this ultrasound and used it as her sister's. But that's another story for another day. Now, again, I wouldn't want him to get sued. I wouldn't want Gingras to deal. I mean, I really mean this. I've got no reason whatsoever to wish anything but happiness, wealth, and prosperity to him. The only issue that I have, and hold on, we'll get to the video in a second. The only issue I have, I actually responded. This is the first time I've ever publicly responded to David Gingras. He receives 2,000 views for this, and he gets 3 comments and 4 hearts. I responded, no, you had the right idea. Don't doubt yourself. Just doubt your client. That was in response to whether or not he was doing good on YouTube. I said, no, you're heading in the right direction. I said, no one hates you or her. It's that you came after people, me and others, hard. I get it. She paid you to defend her. The problem people have is that we did what you asked. We proved her fraud. And then I continued, and you still haven't apologized to my family for the baseless threats you made. David, that was really effed up. The fact you haven't been man enough to email my lawyer or me to say sorry says it all. You and your client tried to rob us of a moment of happiness during a special time. That being the day he sent me these threats to unhouse me and make me homeless and sue me into oblivion for, I think, $130 million. All those threats that came in, saying that she's going to be grazing out in Tennessee and the Neal family will be evicted from their home after losing a multi-million-dollar defamation case in federal court. That right there is what I'm hung up on. So no amount of him being charming and all of that is going to kind of give justice to my wife, who at 8.5+ months pregnant had to deal with these threats after years of us working really hard to buy our first home. Now, I don't have wealthy parents that will enable me like Laura does. I worked really hard for my money. 3.5 years ago, I lived in a 500 square foot apartment and I was making minimum wage before I was on unemployment due to the pandemic, and my channel took off, and I've rode the wave with you as a fine audience to buying my first home and really growing my family and this and that. I don't have the golden handcuffs she has, the enablement to live in the casita in my parents' house and ride horses all day. No, I work very hard for everything I have, and that's reflective. But someone who doesn't deserve this is my wife, which is why I'm starting a campaign, Justice for Tasha. Now, I don't want anything from anybody other than that lawyer to apologize to that beautiful lady, my wife. She deserves it because he threatened her and went below the belt, and he shouldn't have done that. And I think that's very clear. So if anyone ever responds to him, make sure he understands what Justice for Tasha means. It means grow up and apologize to her. Okay, so let's move on. Anyway, so yeah, and then by the way, he got 4 hearts. I got 38 and 45. So I think it speaks for itself. And he has not responded to those. I don't believe he's responded. Luis said, Tasha and you absolutely deserve an apology for the vile things that were said to and about your family. Yeah, and look, his defense might be, oh, but you've made Laura's life miserable. How have I made her life miserable? All she has done to me is call the FBI on me, try to get a restraining order on me, and try to whitewash history by taking 102 HCG level and turning it into 132,000. That's not my fault. So don't get mad at me if the consequences of her actions are starting to bite her in the ass. Let's watch their video. For the first time, I'm watching this in its entirety.
Okay, so we're recording. Hello, everyone. It's Douche Canoe.
By the way, I'm sorry. The intro feels like something if my grandparents did FaceTime for the first time. That's what it feels like.
Okay, so we're recording. Hello, everyone. It's Douche Canoe and Pregnancy Faker.
Yep.
We have just, I think you're supposed to...
Reverse psychology. He's trying to have fun with the fact that she's a pregnancy faker. She must have faked the pregnancy when, in fact, we have the faked ultrasounds, the Fiverr logo right there. See that Fiverr logo that she used in the other, thing, the HCG, here's where, we have the instances where she said on one end that she was being abused, and on the other end, she said she just had her ovary removed. Which one is it? Which photo do you want to use for your abuse photo versus your ovary removal photo? Get your facts right. So we have all of that. We continue.
Look at the camera. See, I'm not a professional. You are.
she's not a professional. The only thing that makes someone a professional is they receive money for their services. And I don't believe in her tax returns there's any podcast income coming in. She is a professional, at least in my opinion, as a con artist, because she perpetuated lies and committed medical fraud to get people to believe something that wasn't true.
So we just did our little video. I just tried to do a Twitter live thing. That didn't work very well. So we're going to shoot this little quick thing for you.
By the way, look how she defers to him. He's in charge here. She hired him. And with my lawyer and with cases where I've hired people for like consulting services, the person who pays the lawyer is supposed to be in charge. It looks like he's running the show here, and what do I know? You know what I mean? Maybe she's totally happy with the way he's, the guy here, but they start addressing their dating rumors. Very bizarre.
You are in charge of finalizing our video so we can send it out.
Yeah, we're going to do it as soon as possible. Yeah, a day or two.
So, yeah.
So she starts to talk, and then he kind of interrupts her, and he's front and center. I don't know. It just feels as though maybe I don't think he trusts her to really air it out, but she's going to be editing it, which is very interesting because actually here, Justice for Clayton official posted the fact that it's $175 for an hour. So they did 2 hours. So that's what, $350? And my math skills, guys, so good. But they don't. It's editing is billed separately. So why let them edit? They said too cheap to pay for editing. First of all, you don't even need an edit. You know what I mean? Just get it out there. No one cares. I don't care how many angles we get on her. Now, my thought is, once she starts editing out her ums and her whatever tics and mannerisms she doesn't want shared, it's going to turn this thing into, like, I would love to know how long, and by the way, hello, anybody at PS Studios want to get me the raw footage? Ladies, anybody at PS Studios want to drop your boy the raw footage? I'm sure that won't happen, but PS Creative Studios, just letting you know. What will it cost us for that footage? Only to say this, I would love to know from start to end how long they spoke and actually how what they take out. Because there's going to be, you can analyze this all day long, but it's very hard for a behavioralist to analyze her when she's the one who's editing the product people get to see. And that's why I say this about journalists all the time. I say this about 2020. I say this about Dateline, NBC. I hate how they overly edit things to think like they give the audience something that they want. Podcasts, the original podcasts, the good ones, don't edit at all. Joe Rogan doesn't edit out the ums. I tell people this all the time. Quit getting in the way of natural conversation. We'll have to see how this goes, but your boy can spot and edit. Having been edited out of other podcasts, your boy can totally tell when something is missing.
Okay.
And we think we need to go again and do volume 2.
So she says, we think we need to keep doing this. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm actually busy. I got a golf thing. I got to go. He's like, I'm busy. I got to go apologize to Dave Neal's wife, Justice for Tasha.
To go again and do volume 2.
No question. We did not
10.
We did not cover.
Wait, what did she say? Not 10?
Question. We did not
10.
Does anyone know what she's saying right here? She says, do volume 2, not 10.
So, yeah, okay.
And we think we need to go again and do volume 2.
No question, we did not
10.
She reminds me of the type of person where if you're building an IKEA dresser, she stands behind you and goes, are you going to use that skirt? Like, I feel like there's a lot of micromanaging. This must be exhausting for him.
Not cover anywhere near, 10%?
No, we didn't. We covered a little bit of the appeal, but I think we want to cover more of that.
Yeah.
Good. And so here's the concern some people have. They think that what's going to happen is Gingras will get free advice from the audience on his appeal and use that to omit things or whatever. Because if you share an appeal with your audience before you submit it and people go, oh my gosh, page 7, you have an error, then he can fix it. I don't really care what the hell he does because I don't even care about the appeal. We know what the truth is. Whether or not some rule is violated because someone didn't dot their I's and cross their T's, I have no idea. But I don't care. The judge made their ruling, and I believe in the court system.
So I read the appeal intro, 15 pages. I said I was going to do that. We covered 2 hours of time. I mean, not just talking about that, but there's just so much.
Yeah, right.
Much. I mean, I guess
ruling.
Yeah, the intro, how we met, so forth.
Yeah.
The fact that we are not dating.
Yes, that's true.
Thank you.
No one, but there's no real thought. This is one of those Streisand effects where like no one really thinks they were dating, but there is this idea that like what is this kindred spirits like crossing in the night thing happening between them? They have that. I mean, she found the best attorney to do her dirty work. That's why people don't want to give him grace, because he posted these things. He called me scum and said he looks forward to reading my obituary before throwing it in the trash where it belongs. So he does all of this stuff, and our response is the just like the collective like weird, like, yo, you're kind of weird, man. Like, what's going on? You know, that's the hey, did you know you were going to be covering 200 videos of this fake paternity scam? This is my response. No, I didn't know I'd be doing that. But here we are. Again, justice for Tasha. So anyhow, those eyes, right? They need justice. Give those eyes justice right there for Tasha. So anyway, let's continue. I digress.
Sorry, JFC.
Sorry, guys. She's just, and you're not as weird or as bad. You're as thin, though. Like that part, I'm not, you got to eat. I'm worried about you.
This is so weird. I don't feel like it's scripted. I really don't. But I just feel like it's weird. My thought when I see this is this is my new. So this makes me feel. Hold on, let's play this one more time.
That part, I'm not. You got to eat. I'm worried about you.
I like to eat. Did you read my thing yesterday? No, about how I ate Domino's pizza every day for 6 months.
No, is that what they were talking about?
Yes.
I didn't see it. Oh, sorry. Guys,
So she wrote an article about eating Domino's. By the way, you can become a professional podcaster if you get Domino's to sponsor you. HCG tests in under 30 minutes with Domino's.
No, about how I ate Domino's pizza every day for 6 months.
No, is that what they were talking about?
Yes.
I didn't see it. Oh, sorry. Guys, I don't have time to follow all this shit on social media. She does, Well,
That's funny. That's also throwing his client under the bus because she's chronically obsessed with scouring the internet. And what did the mean things were said about me?
Are you riding horses this weekend?
Yes.
You are. Okay, so look, we both are trying to have a life. We are trying to be informative also. By the way, I think 2 minutes is my limit, so we can, for Twitter, because I don't pay Elon. So anyway, look, we're going to come back and do this again. I'm still willing to do a podcast with somebody from JFC, maybe.
Maybe Omar you were talking
maybe
about?
Omar. I don't know. I'm just here to try to get information out. I'm going to hit.
By the way, Omar, the guy that he criticized as being part of the cult, this is just so bizarre. By the way, and again, I don't care who he talks to. Talk to everybody. But what's going to happen is he's going to say, well, because of the investigation with Rachel Mitchell, I can't talk about that, which is true. They shouldn't be talking at all. Okay, let's just finish the dang thing.
A podcast with somebody from JFC, maybe.
Maybe Omar you were talking
maybe
about?
Omar. I don't know. I'm just here to try to get information out. I'm going to hit my 2 minutes right now. So never mind. We'll talk to you later. We'll see you for episode 2 soon. Bye.
So in 2 minutes and 3 seconds, or 4 or 5 or whatever. Look, that. By the way, that's the face of every time you're trying to figure something. How do I work this TikTok? That's the face. You have this face versus my, like, what was that all about? And again, I don't think the video was overly cringe. It's whatever you want it to be, really. You're going to go talk to Omar? Like, what do they think they're going to get out of Omar? I don't understand. They can, I think it's because he's going to try to center the conversation around their appeal. I'm centering it around the years of fraud that were done. And we've had no one addressing the Fiverr logo other than her saying it wasn't real. And yet we have video of her talking to Greg Gillespie and sending him the literal Fiverr logo. I mean, you can see it here. And again, this might have been stuff that they weren't able to see on their phones. You know, phones have a different resolution when you're watching things, but look real closely. And again, I don't just have the video of this. I have her talking on audio as he's playing this. Forensically speaking, this thing is so airtight. So when she sends a fiver load, when she sends the ultrasound right here, and we learn to zoom in on it, and we see this fiver logo, I'm sorry. Am I a bad guy for wondering why Fiverr is sponsoring your ultrasound? Or is it because we found out that belonged to a lady in Texas who lost one of her babies, and now she's part of the MEND, Mothers Enduring Neonatal Death, and you ripped a wound wide open by Googling an ultrasound, stealing her story, and robbing her invisible the invisible or vanishing twin story. And so when we talk about this and you admit in court that you fabricated evidence, sent it to me, a journalist who's been covering the story, I don't think that is me being scummy at all. I mean, it's a little weird to want to read my obituary because, first of all, what are you getting why would my obituary find its way to Maricopa County? I mean, by all means, I think I'm a notable YouTuber and comedian now, so I think there would be some national coverage over that. But we want the answers on Sarah Owens and why you used her ultrasound and how your attorney David Gingras admitted to using that ultrasound. Whoops, shouldn't have admitted to that. So these are the questions we have. But most importantly, the sort of actionable thing we can do today on my video is remind David Gingras he needs to apologize to my wife, Tasha Courtney. Now, she doesn't ask for this. She'll be like rolling her eyes at it. But I think it's a worthwhile enough that he offers a very substantial apology, admitting what he did wrong, which was threaten the livelihood of my family, all because I was busy finding hard evidence of where his client lied. Now, he's not going to want to talk to me, and he's not going to want to do a podcast episode with me because I'm the godfather of this. I have all the receipts. I have all the video. We have all the forensic data that points her to faking ovarian cancer. We understand what the hell happened with Chase J. Jones, the black man she created to taunt Clayton Echard. These are massive things. So they can come off talking about dominoes and being as fun as they want. I understand how humor works. I understand how it helps lower the sort of skepticism of people. This is a guy who's good at his job in the sense of he's definitely doing what he's been, bid to do, which is to smear this thing all up and muddy the waters and try to wiggle Laura out of this mess. Sadly for Laura, the investigation on her and possible indictment by county prosecutors will have nothing to do with him, and he can walk out saying, well, I tried to do the Rule 26 thing, so he doesn't have her best interest. And I would argue, and he might be a nice guy, but highly, highly deceptive in what they're trying to do here, which is normalize her as just a normal person who eats Dominoes. You can be multiple things. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can eat Dominoes, and you can also do a hell of a lot of medical fraud to ruin people's lives. And I think that's what we have going on here. Let me know your thoughts. If you want to donate to us, you can go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. You can donate on behalf of Tasha, or also, very importantly, you can go to scan this QR code below and subscribe to the podcast. That's where we have all of our entertainment and pop culture news. Hopefully this story just goes away soon. I won't. We've developed a big show here. We've got a lot. By the way, we got recognized. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to premiere for you guys where we got recognized. You guys will enjoy this. So let's do this.
I slid into her DM.
Here it is.
And I was like, hey.
So this is a video that I shot while I was in New York City. I'm going to premiere it for you guys right now before I post on Instagram. And I was complaining to Greer Blitzer that I don't get recognized enough. Watch this.
I have a friend crush on you. Would love to...
By the way,
love to grab drinks.
No one slides into my DMs like having a podcast crush on me. What? You know what I get? I get people telling me their moms like me. 3 minutes later. I was a big fan. Oh, thanks. Mine?
Yeah, on your YouTube.
Oh, thanks so much. Oh, good. Thank you. Hey, look at that. See?
See,
Hey,
we
podcast crush.
We manifested.
We manifested, folks. So we got an audience, and I appreciate all your support. And for those that have been listening to the podcast, I appreciate you helping us grow that into a real giant breadwinner for the family. So it means a lot to me. Appreciate you. And by the way, whenever that video comes out that they did, clear your schedule. We're going to live stream the whole thing on my channel. We'll live stream the whole thing. We'll listen to what they have to say. It'll probably be a lot. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, folks. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later.